let's just real quick talk early before we even watch the picks and bans. Before we get into that, early call. What do you think's going to happen? Who do you think's going to dominate this game? Early call. Don't forget, you've seen picks and bans. You've seen them play before, right?
Yeah. So as always, I know LSUS team, they like to go for the invades. So either they're going to go for an invade or they're going to stack on a bush and wait for an invade. They're going to try to go for a Heckram pick if he's not banned, Misfortune pick if she's not banned, or they're going to go for a Ziggs pick if he's not banned.
You would have to think at this point that both teams have kind of gotten an idea of what the classic champs are that either team's going to pick to play.
Yeah.
So they should learn that by now. And so you think they're going to target the Misfortune band? You think that's what they're going to do?
Oh, yeah, they're going to target the Misfortune band because every game that they've had it performed really well. We might actually get a Zyra band because last game it popped off and it popped off really hard.
All right. Well, with that information, let's go ahead and go into the bands and let's see if Snoop Ninja is right.
If I want your opinion, I'll beat it.
Oh, look at that already. So they took out. So we got is that LSUS on the left? Is that correct?
No, that's the other team on the left. LSUS is on the right.
LSUS is on the right, and it looks like their first two bands is
Zet and Cho'Gath.
Okay. Good call.
And they banned out Echo.
Oh, that was also a good call. Echo did a good job in the last game.
He did. So it's gotten to the point in the tournament where people are banning the secondary picks, and so people can get on their primary comfort picks. So we're probably going to see, them picking Heckram right here because that's the jungler's main. He's a master tier Heckram player, so he's really good.
Oh, wow.
So
I would love to see that. I played a little Heckram. I still need to learn the champ. I've got some mechanics to work out, but I really enjoy him.
All you got to do is run fast. That's how you play.
I believe there's a meme, which I don't think we can say on the live stream, but there's a meme for that, running fast, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's a popular meme, yes.
And there you go, instantly the Heckram pick.
Wow.
No hesitation.
No hesitation on there. That's fantastic. Now, just on a side note here, are there going to be any Teemos on the field this time? Because,
No Teemos.
Being a Teemo main, I love my boy Teemo, one of my favorite champs. He gets a lot of bans.
He does. He does get a lot of bans. But fortunately for both teams, I don't think they have a Teemo player on either team.
Okay, because I've heard Teemo been called some dirty names in chat before.
A lot of dirt. He has a devil skin for a reason.
Yes, indeed.
He's a little devil.
So it looks like that LSUS did not want to deal with that classic sniper up in the mid lane.
Yeah, they got rid of Talon and Vi and Zed. All three people that can shut Misfortune down in a heartbeat. So it looks like they're going with the old trusty reliable Misfortune Heckram comp. And it's a pretty nasty combo because Heckram can fear them all into Misfortune ult, and they're walking all slow into her, hello bullets, and he just deletes teams. But they picked a Yasuo in, so he can throw out that wind wall, and Misfortune's useless. So Misfortune's going to have to be very careful about when she presses R.
Now, Heckram versus Zach clear. Who's got the faster?
Heckram has the faster clear. Zach's kind of a slow clear at the start. But Zach is a powerhouse when it comes to ganks. You have to watch out for your warding because he can jump over walls that you'd never expect. So if the LSUS team isn't careful, they're going to get hit with a lot of surprise ganks.
Is Zach capable? Is he capable gank at level 1, level 2, level 3? Or
so usually Zach doesn't gank until around level 5 or so. After he puts a few points in his jump, because the more points he has, the longer the jump is.
Roger that. Okay. Now Heckram, I've seen him gank at level 3. So
yeah, Heckram can gank at level 2 even.
They can expect that really quick. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So it looks like Neumont did not want to deal with Gnar in the top lane.
Yeah, that was LSUS.
Oh, that was LSUS ban. Yeah. Okay, so they don't want to deal with Gnar.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with Gnar. He's pretty volatile, and they don't want top lane to go crazy because they're probably going to be pretty bot mid lane focused this game if they play it smart.
So it must be. I'm going to guess one of the Neumont players must be a strong Gnar main if they're going that route, right?
Yeah, because they banned out Set. They banned out Cho'Gath. Those are two strong top laners.
We were watching. I don't know if you were watching earlier. We were watching Set and Moonday go.
Yeah, that was an amazing fight.
That was awesome.
There's a lot of fists being thrown, a lot of damage being done.
That's one of those things. If it was a boxing match, right, it would make it in like 12 rounds, right?
Exactly. They're doing a George Foreman
Yeah,
Jr.
yeah, that's right.
Doing him some justice. Doing him some justice. Give him a good boxing match to watch.
That would have been great. That was awesome. That was great. So let's see who they finished rounds out there. It's the band, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
All right. So
wow, no
banned out
Sona.
Seraphine.
Wow.
They'll probably go for their support pick here. Yep, Zyra. And that Zyra is on fire right now too. Last game, that Zyra was hitting all of her roots, a very high percentage. He carried the bot lane last game.
So early on, is it going to be Malzahar mid? Is that
Yeah, it's going to be Malzahar mid.
So Yasuo mid, right?
Yeah, Yasuo and Malzahar, and actually that's a kind of a bad matchup for Yasuo because his wind wall doesn't stop doesn't stop anything Malzahar does.
Wow.
So he just has one less ability in lane against
Good
Malzahar.
counter.
Yeah, great counter.
And they look like they're going with Kennen, so that's going to be Kennen top.
Yeah.
Kennen is a slightly less annoying version of Teemo.
Slightly.
One thing he has that Teemo does not is when there's team fights going on.
Yeah. And he picked the Malphite. That's an interesting choice.
That's very interesting.
Because Malphite's usually a pretty anti-physical champion, but he's going into an AP top laner. So we'll see how this plays out. Maybe he'll go AP, and they'll try to see who can delete who the fastest.
Right. Malphite's got a poke. He's got the little
little
thing he sends on the ground there.
Little rock he slings around.
Yeah, he's got a poke, but I think Kennen's poke's going to be a little bit stronger.
Kennen's poke was going to be a bit stronger.
Yeah. All right. So, real quick, team comps. Who do you think has the stronger team here? No bias, though. No bias.
Okay, I'm not going to be biased, against my team.
Right.
But, so, Neumont has a team that's very focused around Yasuo because they have two knockups. They have two strong knockups.
Right.
And then they have the knockup from Yasuo. Ezreal's very capable of taking care of himself. And Kennen likes to get in there and, stun the whole team.
Right.
So that's going to be a strong wombo combo. However, the LSUS team, they just have a good team fight comp. Even if they don't have Misfortune, she's going to still do a lot of DPS. Zyra's going to be messing up everyone with her giant ult. You have Malphite. He's a big old rock. He's going to get in there and just, tear stuff up. Then you have Hecarim running around all over the place. And Malzahar is going to tell one person to stop playing the game for 3 seconds. So
I know the classic adage is the jungler usually tries to support the strongest lane.
Yeah.
Right. So do you think let's take LSUS, for example, is the jungler going to want to early focus top lane or going to early focus bot lane?
He's going to want to early focus bot lane.
Okay.
Because Zyra's been playing out of her mind. Misfortune and the jungler, they have really good synergy with each other. Like, personally, they're good friends. I know they play a lot together. So, they're gonna be on sync, one-on-one.
So they got some team synergy going on.
They have that neural synapse going.
I can't preach that enough. When you play together as a team, I think even if they pick the same champs and you had the same skill level, a team that plays together, I think, has the advantage over teams that do not.
Teams that play together win together. That's how it is.
I mean, solo queue is great, but playing as a team, I think that gives you the edge.
It does. Because when you play as a team, you never question what your teammate's doing because you've seen them do it, and you're like, I don't know why he's doing that. When you're playing with a random, but when you're playing with someone you're like, all right, I know he likes to move here. I know he likes to do that. I know if he's doing this, he's about to do this, and so they're gonna be. They won't even need to talk, to communicate what they're doing with each other.
Well, you're obviously intimately familiar with the LSUS side of the house, right? So let's take a look at Neumont real quick. What should Neumont, if you were going to give them some advice, knowing the LSUS team, you're going to give them some advice, what would you say to them? What should they be looking out for?
Don't feed that horse any carrots. don't give him any kills. Don't give him any food.
No hay, no grain, no horse
hay.
food.
Yeah, no horsing around.
Okay.
Just keep that horseplay to a minimum. Make sure that that Hecarim doesn't get to do anything, and after that, you have to get rid of that Misfortune. And if they can get rid of the Misfortune, their damage falls quite significantly. And Yasuo can go in and he can do whatever he wants. They have to watch out for the Malzahar. Yasuo needs to pay the Malzahar tax and buy a Quicksilver sash. So whenever Malzahar presses R, he can tell him no, bonk him on the head, and that's how they'll win.
And Misfortune is rather squishy, so that
She is.
shouldn't be. So she needs to stay in the back line. That shouldn't be too difficult of a target for them if they can get past the front line
Yeah.
of the LSUS team, which I guess is going to be the Malphite and Heckram.
Yeah, and LSUS, like their warding is going to be put to the test because
Absolutely.
you'll see 4 people and you'll be looking around for that 5th, and then you'll see a Zach just flying over at you, and next thing you know, that Misfortune's knocked up, Yasuo's on her, and everyone's on her, and now you don't have an AD carry to do that DPS for you anymore, and you lose the team fight.
So the smart play for Neumont is going to be focus Misfortune.
Focus Misfortune.
Okay.
Get her down.
That's fair. That's really fair. All right. Well, as I did earlier in the game, let's take a look at some of the skins we have here.
Oh yeah, we have the Bizarre skin. It's always nice. I like the funny skins.
My favorite skin, though, is definitely the Business Mundo, where he's got the cell phone.
Yeah, Money Man Mundo. I love it.
Oh, my gosh, that thing cracks me up. All right, so early call. Who do you think's going red? Who do you think's going blue?
I think both teams are going to go. Blue team's going to go to the red, and I think red team's probably going to go to the blue.
All right, well, let's see if that pans out.
Well, it looks like Neumont might be going for an invade here.
Wow.
Okay. It's been spotted, though.
Yep, that kind of throws off that.
Yep, all right.
So they know the invade's coming, so now LSUS should respond
Yep.
properly by grouping up together.
Yeah, and you see that they're all grouped up.
Malzahar is doing some dancing there. I don't know if that's
he's got those smooth moves going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's equivalent to Michael Jackson, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it is actually. It is. it is the Michael Jackson. It's one of the many Michael Jackson dances based off of.
As good as, I would say, as good as Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah. Not as good as, but it's a good imitation.
Close, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so it looks like they have decided they're not going to go through with the invade, obviously, because they were spotted. So now it's best for them just to start the game as usual.
Yep.
And wait for their buffs to come into play. And that should come into play in 2-1. And here we go.
And that's why, whenever the game starts, you got to use every second you get, because if that Malzahar wasn't there to spot them when they ran into that bush, the game could have been a lot different. So you got to utilize every second.
That first kill gold can go a long way early game.
That's 400 gold. That's about 4 different waves of minions, just like that.
Now, curious, it looks like that LSUS has gotten out. I don't see too many wards by LSUS in the river as of this moment.
Yeah, they don't have a lot. They were probably trying to place them more defensively to watch out for any potential invades. So they're probably trying to save them for that Zach. Make sure that he can't get an early gank off and get the snowball going.
And it looks like Neumont's got LSUS pushed up almost into their tower. They definitely have dominant control of the bot lane for now. How long do you think they can maintain that?
Against this team comp, they're probably going to keep it pushed up because LSUS, they're not going to want to push too far out going against a hook character. They don't want to give them that space to play around with, so it's good to keep it back and frozen. That way, that Nautilus keeps the anchor right next to him.
Now, something I normally see in the mid lane is that a good mid laner, will push the minions in, right? Push the wave. And then they roam. They either roam top, they roam bottom, they help get objectives, whatnot. You having some experience with LSUS, is their mid laner prone to roaming?
Their mid laner is prone to roaming on certain characters, but on Malzahar, what he usually does is he pushes a wave in, and then he waits to see how the enemy reacts. Because Malzahar is he's a sleepy laner. He doesn't do much. He just kind of pushes in the wave and sees what goes on. He's more reaction based, so there's probably not going to be a lot of proactive roams out of the Malzahar. There will probably be reactive roams.
All right, I just saw that Kennen dropped a ward in the Tribush up on the LSUS side. So Kennen looks like he's going to try to push in as he can, as close, get Malphite under tower. Should he be worried about a gank coming here pretty soon?
Yeah, that's pretty smart because they know that Heckram started blue. So, if he goes, to the next side of the map, he's going to be coming in probably through the Tribush.
Looks like Heckram's going in just a little bit. Is he putting a deep ward in there?
Yeah, it looks like Heckram's might be going for an early bot gank because,
Oh, here we go. He's coming in. He's coming in.
mid.
He did get the stun off.
Ooh.
Can they finish? And yes, it looks like they will get the kill.
Oh, and that's
First blood goes to LSUS.
And see, they already violated the first roll. They gave the horses the kill. See, well, they gave it to Malzahar, so it's not as bad, but it's still not good.
Well, now, so what's the play here? Looks like Heckram's going back into the jungle, and it looks like the top lane. Zach looked like he was about to try to gank, but I'm guessing that Neumont's playing a little safe.
Yeah.
Probably had a ward in there, which gave Zach away, I'm going to guess, right?
Yeah, and you see with
Zach's coming in.
Oh, he gets out. And see, all that big minion advantage, it makes it kind of hesitant in whether or not you want to gank that lane because, Rockman up there, he's gonna take some time to kill, and those minions are still early enough to where they'll do a considerable amount of damage.
Absolutely. So. Minion damage in the first 5 minutes of the game
is devastating.
Devastating. So that was a smart play by the Rockman.
Yeah.
To keep his wave on his side of the fence. That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
The Malphite player is a very solid player. He always does his job. And he does it well.
And speaking of minion waves, looks like the bot lane is now returning the favor, and they had Neumont pushed up into their lane, but Neumont is now answering by trying to gain some ground in that bot lane.
And see, that's a dangerous position to be in for the bot lane because if you get hooked by Nautilus, you have a long way to run away, and he's just going to be there, slowing you down the entire way while that Ezreal just, beats your face in. You don't want that. You don't want that.
Ezreal's got some quick throws on.
He does.
So it looks like Heckram is going back to base probably to buy, and Zach's going to fit. Looks like he's going to. Oh, he just hit.
Yep. All right, and that Heckram went back and bought some boots. He has Predator, so now you have to watch out for that Predator.
Heckram's kind of speedy to begin with.
Yeah, he's kind of speedy to begin with, and the faster Heckram goes, the more attack damage he gets. So, on Predator, he comes in and he hits you with that, speeded up Predator boost. That's a lot of initial damage.
Ooh. Does that look like that? Is Neumont think they're going to get that first dragon? It looks like they're going in for that.
It looks like they're going for the dragon.
And is LSUS going to contest the first dragon?
The Heckram's hovering. He's thinking about it.
Well, without the support of his bot lane,
yeah, he's backing off.
Yeah, it looks like that Neumont's going to get that dragon uncontested.
Yeah, and see, whenever you want to make a call, if it's a little bit too late for the call, sometimes it's best to just ditch it and let him have it because, and instead of spending time, deciding whether or not you're going to do it, you can just get that guaranteed XP. And they get the dragon, but you get the XP, you get your wave states where you want them to be, and you get some good time to do.
Oh, look at that! Wow.
And Yasuo gets the trade.
And I think you said we got to watch out for the Yasuo getting fed too.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch out for that Yasuo because he will delete that misfortune.
Now, it looks like Kennen rotated down to try to balance out the finish the kill or keep their Yasuo from getting...
And we have a TP in from Malzahar, but he was just doing it, to make sure the Heckram doesn't die there.
Of course, all this time, Rockman's up in the top lane getting all that juicy CS.
Yeah, getting all that farm, all those turret plates.
Unquestioned, unchallenged. He's looking pretty sweet. Will he be able to get a plate here before Kennen can return to lane?
Oh, he's doing it.
And he got a plate.
That's 160 gold. That is more than a half a kill's worth of gold.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's huge.
Those are valuable.
Oh, and did Kennen spend the TP there to go to the mid lane, or did
no? He just roamed down.
He roamed down, so he still has his TP.
Yeah. Okay. Kennen's pretty fast, so he can use one of his abilities to speed up, and then look, just like that, he just gets out.
Rockman avoided the gank.
Avoided the gank.
Fantastic. Looks like there was a well-placed ward there in the jungle. Maybe not. I don't see any wards.
Yeah, there was a ward in the river.
Okay.
He saw him. I think.
I definitely see there's some wards down. LSUS has some wards. They got one in the inner bush leading into their bot lane tower. They've got one on that primary bush that's in the river itself.
Oh, they're doing some deep ganks here.
Wow,
Yasuo goes down, and now it's just an easy cleanup for the Heckram.
Is Heckram going to be able to take out?
He should be able to take him out.
Yeah, It looks like he's got that.
Yeah, he doesn't have any help.
Easy
He
kill
goes
for
down.
Easy Nautilus kill.
Oh, now we have Zach
Wow,
coming in for a gank.
Zach popping off. He should be able to get that misfortune, being very squishy.
He should be able to, but Heckram's probably coming down. He's bagging off.
Smart.
He doesn't want to fight that.
Nah.
Heckram's debating whether or not he wants to go for that dive, but he chooses not to. He's just push that wave in, get some XP, and go back to the farm.
Yeah, I don't know how much Zach has studied went to college for being an equestrian wrangler, so he probably has to stay clear of the horse.
It's a very hard to tame horse there.
Yeah, that's very crazy. It's awesome. So it looks like we got the bot lane. LSUS bot lane is returning slowly back.
Yeah, they're returning slowly back, and both bot lanes are playing it very well. The farm difference isn't gigantic. Both supports have one death on them, so they're going pretty even. And late game, is going to be whoever has a team that's doing better is going to benefit from it the most. So right now, the LSUS team bot lane, they're sitting good because their team's doing fine. They'll have the better front line, so they'll be able to DPS in the back line harder. Whereas Neumont, since their front line will go down quicker, they won't have as much time to and here comes another game.
And I believe Yasuo was pushed way too far up.
He was pushed way too far up.
Way too much confident 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, he was not ready for it, and he hasn't come close to building that QSS, which will get him out of situations like that. Because if you had a QSS, he'd press one button and you walk away.
And it looks like the Rockman's still sitting pretty. He's staying even with CS with Kennen at the moment. It looks like we got another game.
Just like that.
Wow, look at that. Kennen just bit the dust. Sending Kennen got deleted, sending him back to to the next
fraction of a second, just like that.
Wow.
And see, that's why you don't want to give him the horse. And see, in a tournament setting, you have to be mindful. Just because someone's playing well with another character doesn't mean you need to switch your bans to that character, because then they're going to get on the comfort picks and they're going to play even better.
So it looks like LSUS is going for Shelly. Good choice by them early game.
Yeah, get those objectives in where you can.
Malzahar's probably going to lose some CS out of this, but I think that objective's well worth it. Would you agree?
Yeah, the objective is well worth it, 100%, because you can open up that map. You can destroy, a few turret plates off of that, get that first turret gold, which is, 400 gold. It's a lot of gold, especially when you factor in the plates.
So just over what we're seeing right now, what turret do you think that LSUS should go for first with having Shelly in their back pocket?
Honestly, if I was them, I would go for the bot turret, just so the party in the bot lane, like what's happening now. You got 4 people diving the bot lane, and
we just got a double kill. Maybe we're gonna get are we gonna get a triple kill here?
Uh-oh.
Can Neumont get the last 2 LSUS players that are lingering?
Going in very deep.
Oh, wow. And it looks like they're not going to get the horseman today. Nice try. You got Malzahar.
But Zach passive pop, so he's...
wow. So Rockman got his kill. Are they going to be able to pull it off? Nope, not with Zanya's in play. Oh, no, they did get the Malzahar. Look at that. And the Yasuo is about to bite it. Can the Rockman get the Yasuo?
Oh, nope.
I think...
he got him.
Wow.
He got him.
Look at that when you just think you're safe. And then the next thing you get sent back to the Nexus to rethink your decisions in life.
Yeah, just like that.
All of this time, Kennen's just up there steadily whittling away at the top tower, getting all that CS.
And then that'll help give Kennen, the chance he needs to catch up in gold, get a few turret plates. 2 turret plates, that's a kill. If you think of it that way, sometimes staying up there, getting those turret plates, getting all 5 of those turret plates, that's basically the equivalent of getting 3 kills, getting all 5 turret plates.
Oh, can Zach pull that off? I think. I don't think he's got it. Rockman's too tanky.
He's too tanky. Gets him with that rocking.
It looks like we got Kennen rotating down to the mid lane. No, he's going in. Is he warding? He's going to deep ward.
Yeah. And you see, you have Heckram there, looking for a potential gank bot because they want to destroy that bot turret because they don't want any more parties in the bot lane.
No more parties.
Yeah, no more parties in the bot lane. They want to.
They want to shut that down. They don't want that to be a fun zone anymore.
No, they don't. They want to keep it boring. No more parties.
That's a good ward by the Heckram right there. Let him know where the where the grouping was. Now we've got a Dragon that looks like Neumont's going to go for it. They've got all 5 of their team members are down there. Kennen hiding out in the death bush, waiting for someone to show up. And he's out of there, and it looks like they got that Dragon uncontested.
Yeah.
So that's 2 Dragons for Neumont, 1 Shelly for LSUS. The goal lead, here we are at 14 and a half minutes into the game. The goal lead's moderate, kill lead's moderate.
Yeah.
I don't think this game's been decided just yet.
It has not been decided yet.
Oh, they're definitely going to get that mid tower.
Yeah, that's first turret too.
First turret gold goes to LSUS.
It looks like they're about to death ball ARAM it down, escort that Shelly.
Oh, they're going to can they catch the Nautilus out of play? He knocked it back. They're going to get that Nautilus. Are they going to be able to get another kill?
Oh, and he came in with the flank rock, man.
Oh, well, that's 2 kills.
That's 2 kills.
And LSUS is sitting pretty. Are they going to be able to get one more? Danger, get close to that turret. And
and they got the kill. The ignite.
Kennen not make it out of there.
He got hit with that ignite and the burn.
Oh, the burn got
the burn on the Landry's and the burn from ignite.
Fire burns.
Yeah.
Fire burns.
Fire does burn.
Woo!
It burns hard.
That. Well, now reset. That's a smart play by LSUS. Go back and buy while the other team is, again, while Neumont is deciding that they made some good choices back
there. And now that gold lead that we were just talking about is a little bit bigger now.
Wow.
And now the kill lead, they have twice the amount of kills.
Twice the kills. They're approaching almost double the goal lead.
Yeah.
That is huge. That is huge.
That is huge.
Does anyone have any mythics yet? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so Malzahar has his mythic. He has Leandra's Torment. It's good against tanks, and they have 3, or they have 2 tanks on their team, so that Leandra's is going to be pretty good. Misfortune has Kraken Slayer, which is also good against getting rid of those tanks. Hecarim has Trinity Force, which does tons of damage on the item. If you look at the description, it says tons of damage.
Tons of damage. They kept it really simple, right?
They did. They kept it simple. It said you want to do tons of damage.
Tons of damage.
Item.
Sign up for this item.
Yeah, and Rockman over here, as you can see, he built his tank mythic, and he's just taking the damage.
He also may have bit off more than he can chew.
Oh, look at that.
Rockman walking away with just a little bit of health. But you know what? A little bit of health versus...
but he got hit with the Ezreal ult.
He just got sniped. It looks like Malzahar may bite it too.
Malzahar got caught with his pants down.
Wow.
Was not looking at where he was going.
Malzahar. I have to say the Ezreal snipe makes me angry every time that happens. And I'm not even playing this game, and I just got angry.
You got to be mindful of it. You have to be mindful of it. Because if you don't, you'll just like that, you'll just cease to exist.
There's a few of those that go across the whole map.
Yeah.
Right?
So you have Draven ult that goes across the map, Jinx ult, Ezreal ult.
And you got a few of them that go halfway through the map. Like Urgot's ult, I think.
Yeah, Urgot's ult goes very far halfway.
Yeah.
Caitlyn ult, and then you have Vex now. She's new. So whenever you play the game, if you're low, you have to be mindful.
Don't stand still for too long. Keep moving.
Don't stand still.
Yeah, don't stand still. And don't walk in a straight line either.
Yeah, don't walk in a straight line. Don't be predictable.
We've seen a lot of people get hit with that Ashe ult.
Yes.
Who thought they were safe, walked in a straight line.
Yeah, and that's another one too. It goes across the whole map, So you gotta be careful because most of those ults, they do more damage the lower you are. So they're designed to get that snipe.
So it looks like the bot lane's kind of shifted here. What's the play here? Why is Malphite in the bot lane? What do we got?
So Malphite's in the bot lane because that bottom turret's gone, and you want to break those turrets so you can open up the map.
Oh,
and,
wow! They just got another kill.
Oh, and got the good pick on the Nautilus right there. The Rockman's in. He's in the fight. Looks like it's going to be Ezreal going down.
Nautilus is out.
Oh.
And Kennen's out.
And Kennen's out.
The team wipe for Shelly, that was not worth that play.
Yeah, you still have Yasuo up, you still have Zac up, but that was definitely not worth it for Neumont. That the small lead they just got off that fight, they just threw it back away. LSUS is once again, double their kills. That gold lead just got stretched that much wider. Now they have the next Herald, so an even important tower can be going down next time.
So Dragon's coming up in about to be less than 20 seconds. Do you think that it's a smart play that Neumont tries to get that Dragon because they've got a Dragon lead over LSUS, or should LSUS absolutely not let that happen?
So here's the thing: they have Shelly, So if they go for Dragon, they can drop Shelly, and then they can take a turret. And while they're taking the turret, because the Baron's going to be spawning in 20 minutes, so they can drop the Shelly and then go for the Baron, and then they lose the tower and Baron. So it's going to be very dangerous for Neumont to go for these Dragons.
Well, and it looks like LSUS just lost their jungler, so that is not going to be the smart play for them trying to. They can maybe contest the Dragon, but it's not going to be likely they're going to be able to steal it.
It's not going to be likely they're going to steal it. But Malphite goes in with his ult.
Oh, no, Malphite's down.
And they repel it off.
Are they going to get more than one kill here? Looks like LSUS is going to back out.
That was not a good fight for LSUS. They have their jungler down. They have all 5 of their people up.
Newmont's moving in relatively in great health. I think they're gonna get this Dragon.
They're gonna get the Dragon. And that is the Mountain Dragon, arguably one of the best dragons in the game. Gives everyone that extra tank, makes everyone else on the enemy team that much more inefficient when it comes to trying to kill them.
So should they be looking for a team fight at this point? I mean, are we out of the laning phase yet?
Yeah, we are completely out of the laning phase at this point.
So for our viewers at home who may not be well versed with the game, just give them a quick explanation of laning phase, when that ends.
So laning phase usually ends around 15 minutes into the game, or whenever the first turret goes down. Because after first turret of 15 minutes, the tower's a lot easier to kill. Misfortune just blew her ult there, got it instant canceled by Kennen. But after about 15 minutes, that's when the teams start to kind of roam around and go from objective. Yeah, group up. Go into their team comp, which might be a 4-1 split or a 3-1-1 split, or different types. Some people like to do the death ball where they roam around as 5s, trying to find who's out by themselves.
Well, you called it. You said that they were going to try to shut that party zone down in the bot lane.
And they did.
Now with Neumont is down a deficit of looks like 2 towers at this point.
Yeah.
LSUS still sitting pretty with all of their towers.
All of their towers up. And that's big because, whenever there's an objective up, those towers are going to take care of pushing the waves up, so they'll have more time to respond.
Ooh, and Hecarim got the kill, as he is famous for doing, diving under tower.
Exactly.
Malphite taking for him came in there clutch.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
That's that teamwork.
And it looks like they're going to get the Kennen too, without his ult. I don't know, is he going to be as successful in getting that gank?
Yeah.
It looks like
he just comes in. He still has tons of damage from that Trinity Force.
So LSUS lost 1 in that trade. So it was a 1-for-1, 2-for-1.
A 2-for-1, yeah.
That's not a bad trade.
It's not a bad trade, not at all.
So where should we talk? Let's look at vision real quick on the minimap. LSUS hasn't pushed their line of vision up.
Yeah, they haven't pushed their line of vision up. They need to get more aggressive with their vision, because at this point they don't need to worry about anyone coming in their jungle. They're going to be going in their jungle. They have the turrets, so you can actually make a little line from each outside turret, and that's basically where your zone of safety is.
Well, I'm going to give the vision score A+ for Neumont at this point in time.
Yeah.
Just looking at what the map shows us.
Yeah, Neumont has a pretty good vision right now.
Their jungle is lit up.
Exactly, and they can track them whenever they go in their jungle. They know when to leave, when to group up. They should not be caught, But this Hecarim, sometimes he breaks the rules, because he'll be moving so fast that when you see him, it's already too late.
It's too late.
It's a little bit too late sometimes, especially if he pops that Predator.
It looks like is LSUS going to try to group up for Baron?
Yeah, at this point, they have the priority.
Oh, they're going into the Death Bush.
Uh-oh.
And I believe LSUS has fallen to the Death Bush before in one of their games, but they just got lit up.
They got lit up.
And so that Death Bush is now irrelevant.
And that's why you never face check bushes. Because if that Israel would have walked up, he would have. He would not be there to.
He would have been rethinking his life decisions in the game of League of Legends.
He would have been flaming the support for not putting down more wards.
While he's being regenerated inside of the Nexus.
Exactly. Now
we're getting close here to the 25-minute mark. What do the death timers look like?
So right now, the death timer is going to look probably around 30, maybe 40 seconds, depending on level.
Time.
Yeah,
that is a long time to be out of the game.
It is. It's a long time, because this isn't where the game ends yet, but this is where the game could potentially end if you mess up too many times in a row. So Neumont's gonna have to be on their toes. They're gonna have to be more cautious of the decisions they make. because it's LSUS games to lose right now.
Oh, absolutely. LSUS definitely has a slight goal lead, but their kill lead is very impressive at this point.
Kill lead's impressive. The only thing Neumont has going for them are those dragons. If they can get Mountain Soul, it'll be a game changer, and they'll be in the game in a strong way.
So being a staunch league player that you are, we got about 30 seconds for the Dragons coming up here. So it looks to be that Neumont is positioning themselves to be around the Dragon at this point. LSU should be aware of this, and it looks like they are.
And see, right now they're just gaining space, because the more space you can take before Dragon up is up, the more you can just have your backliners burn down Dragon, while your frontliners stay up front and look scary.
And you're looking to burn as many wards on the enemy team as you can.
Exactly.
Oh, they look like they're trying to gank in because the Nautilus was caught out of position.
Yeah, and this is a good fight for...
MF is not going to survive that.
Ooh.
Zach with the shutdown. Oh, they just got malfight. Not looking good for LSUS at this point. 3, 4 of the LSUS team down. I believe that now with Heckram being the only player left, can he contest or steal the Dragon?
He cannot.
I do not think so. Wow.
And now they have Mountain Soul. And now the game got considerably harder, because at this point they can go to Baron, and they could take Baron if they wanted to. Heckram might be able to take a turret, but I would gladly trade one of my non-inhibitor turrets for Baron. So they're going to choose to push down mid though, crack the first turret.
So how much of a game changer is Baron at this stage of the game?
So at this stage in the game, if Neumont gets it, it is a giant game changer. If LSUS gets it, it's not as big of a deal.
Not enough to secure the early win?
It might be enough to secure the early win. It depends on how well Neumont plays it out. They have that Ezreal, so he has that poke. They have Mountain Soul, so they can tank a lot of damage now. The game has just gotten considerably harder for LSUS to close out.
Wow, 4 Dragons on for Neumont, and the goal lead is now almost equal with that last Dragon and those 4 kills. I don't know if there are any shutdowns in there, but very impressive.
There are shutdowns on that Heckram. Well, he didn't go down, but Heckram has a shutdown. I think the Misfortune had a shutdown. That was her second time dying. The Misfortune ult right there, it kind of missed its mark. And she ended up getting picked off by that Zac, like I was talking about. He came from the Fog of War, knocked her up, Yasuo dashed to her. So that backline went down. They didn't have the DPS to win that fight after that. And, Neumont just kind of cleaned them up.
So at this point, I think is LSUS looking to catch somebody out of play here? Are they looking to deep fight?
Yeah, LSUS wants to catch someone, out of position, but, they don't want to be going in on the Nautilus anymore, because he takes too long to kill. By the time they go in, and they're going on the Zac.
Oh, it looks like they're going to get that Zac.
Oh, but the Zac passive pops, you see.
And Misfortune ult going in.
Oh, Misfortune ult, but Kidden gets in.
Oh, look out. And I believe Heckram's going to make it away. And Heckram got out of there. Looks like LSUS is still standing pretty with all their players. Can the Mountain survive? Oh, no.
That is 3 down for LSUS.
Woo! They just lost 3 of their players, but not enough of the remaining Neumont players, I think, cannot take.
Yeah, so right now they only have an Ezreal and Yasuo up. Yasuo just got a turret. He's probably resetting now. They tried going for the pick on Zac. At this point, you don't want to go for the tanky players. They have Mountain Soul, and they're already tanky, so it's just going to take that much longer to kill. You're not going to be able to burn them down quick enough. And just like we saw, the reinforcements are going to arrive, and they're going to clean up the team fight, because they wasted all their important abilities on the tank, and then Kennen just zoomed in right past them, got that Misfortune down, and after that you don't have any damage to deal with those tanks. They're just gonna overwhelm them.
Well, Neumont must be thinking in the same lines that you are. They did focus the Misfortune, so that was good on their part.
Yeah, it's really good on their part.
I think that made a difference in the outcome of that team fight that we just witnessed earlier.
Yeah. And LSUS is gonna have to realize they're gonna have to stop going on all those tanks. They're gonna have to play for objectives, and they're gonna have to force. They needed to force fights at objectives earlier, but they were playing a little bit too safe, even though they had the advantage. And now things are starting to even up. That Yasuo is gonna hit his 0-10 power spike, and he's gonna go out of control. He's 4-6 right now. If he gets 4 more kills, if he dies 4 more times, LSUS just loses.
Really?
Yeah, because
wow.
Yasuo has that built-in 0-10 power spike.
Yeah.
So once Yasuo dies 10 times, he just wins.
What?
So you have to watch out for that. You have to watch out for that.
Wow. So it looks like the number of turrets is almost evened up. Is that
Yeah,
what I'm seeing on the map?
yeah,
right now?
it's almost evened up. Yasuo has been splitting. He's been getting that farm. Yasuo has almost has the most farm in the game. So you don't want that gold going on that Yasuo because he will end it. Neumont has their team centered around Yasuo.
So for our viewers at home, who may not be familiar with the game as much, tell them what split pushing is.
So split pushing is when you have one champion go to one of the side waves, either top or bottom, and all they do is they push up the waves and take towers if they can, and if they can't, they group up with their team to try to take objectives. And that's what Yasuo has been doing. Split pushing is good because it forces the enemy team to make decisions, and it lets the person that's splitting get a lot of good solo XP and a lot of solo gold because you have gold, you have XP splitting. So if you're by yourself, you can level up faster and you can do more damage.
And is Yasuo a good champion too? I know not all champions are recommended.
They're going to a fight.
We just got
this is a big fight. Good misfortune.
Wow.
Oh boy.
They just lost
That is
two LSUS, 2 of their players, 3 of their players down. Can they get the Hecarim? I think they're going to get him. Nope. But he is fast as you know what, and he just got out of there.
He zoomed out of there. That was a good misfortune hold, but it was not enough to bring the team down. I think Yasuo put down his wind wall, like I talked about, and it turns a good misfortune hold into a bad misfortune hold.
Now,
you don't want to see that.
So they're pushing hard on the mid lane. No one to contest at this point in time. But if you look up on the timers, what do you see coming up here in less than 20 seconds?
Less than 20 seconds here. You have Elder, and you don't want to lose that because if Neumont gets Elder, this game is as good as done.
And looks like they are going to get first inhib, which now means that super minions will be spawning in the mid lane, and LSUS is going to have to do some minion management.
This is not a good look for them.
And I'm thinking Neumont is thinking the same thing I am. They are going
straight forward.
Elder, and LSUS needs to make the play at this point. So I'm thinking this is going to be an all-in.
This is probably going to decide the game because if they don't get this Elder, they're just going to lose the game. Misfortune almost face checked, and then she had that clarity of mind and backed away.
Oh, they took out the Misfortune. They just took out 2 of them. 3, 4.
And that's probably going to be game. Neumont's running it down like they should.
Wow.
This is probably going to be it for the LSUS team.
Neumont not even worrying about Elder Dragon.
Yeah, at this point you don't need it. You just, you get the Nexus, and then after that you get the 50 gold. And you go on to the next
30-second timers here.
All right, we got the Zara, though. We got the Zara last stand. Let's see if she can do it. Probably not, but...
First, one of the last turns before Nexus, and here they go. Neumont's going in for the Nexus. I believe what we're about to see is a GG in favor of Neumont.
Yep, and that's Neumont's game.
And that's going to be the game. Wow.
That was a good game, though.
So reflecting back on the game, where was it you think that the tide turned for Neumont?
The tide turned for Neumont... There's a team fight.
Okay.
All right. There's a Neumont fight that they took. They ended up getting on that misfortune, like I talked about, and after that, they were able to catch up, getting that Mountain Drake secured their comeback, and after that, it was easy selling for them.
Well, I saw some very impressive plays there on both sides of the team.
Oh, yeah.
Valiant effort on both of them.
Oh, yeah, valiant effort.
But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner in a game of League of Legends, and Neumont is the one that took the win away.
Yeah, Neumont took the win. They took the W. They earned it.
Well, I am here, Coach. I am here shoutcasting today with my co-host here, Haley Beard, a.k.a. Snoop Ninja. I am Rochambeau. Thank you for watching the first inaugural LSUS Culture Gaming Winter Invitational. Stay tuned. There is more action to come. Don't go away. Don't walk away too far from the computer. Take a potty break. Get some water. Get some beverages. Come right back because I think it's going to be amazing what we're about to see in the last round.
And pull up Twitch on your phone. Taking that potty break. Just pull it up on your phone.
Twitch on the potty. I love it.
Exactly. We have the technology.
Well, that's great. Well, we'll see you back here in just a few minutes for some more League of Legends action.